I know that anytime you do something new, there's a lot of questions. Sometimes there's uncertainty about it. That's why we're here to answer them. And I will tell you that there is a big team. Most of them are on this call right now who have been working really hard over the past, 2 years really, but kind of on overdrive in the last few months to make sure that this conference is a good experience for everybody. So real quick, I'm just going to introduce or let them introduce themselves, the representatives that we have here from various aspects of our planning team. Obviously, I am one of our SEMC staff. And Carla, how about you?
Hi, everyone. My name is Carla Phillips. I'm the SEMC social media manager and membership manager. So yeah, I work very closely with the members and supporting Zinnia with all of our programs.
Thank you. And Carla will be front and center at registration in Chattanooga, and we'll talk a little bit about what that's going to look like in a few minutes. And so now representing our SEMC leadership, first we have Heather Marie.
Hi, everybody. I'm Heather Marie Wells, and I'm the Digital Media Project Manager at Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art in Bentonville, Arkansas. And I am also the SEMC president, and I look forward to seeing all of you in what is it, 7 days? 6 days, 10? It's
9 or 10.
Countdown.
Doing a countdown. We're getting there. Thank you. Matt?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Matt Davis, and I am Director of Historic Museums at Georgia College in Milledgeville, Georgia for my day job, but I am the SEMC Vice President, and in that role, I'm also the overall conference chair this year, and looking forward to working and seeing all of you as we hit the final countdown as we head towards conference.
Thank you. Now representing our 2021 program committee, who have really had a job this year with both aspects. Michelle?
Yeah, hello, I'm Michelle Schulte. Like I said, I'm part of the program committee this year, and I've been helping out with the organization and sort of the formulating of some of the different sessions and how they're all fitting within the conference.
And Beth?
Hey guys, I'm Beth Hoover DeBerry, and I also am part of the program committee, and I do various and assorted things, basically whatever Zinnia and Michelle need help with, that's what I do. So a lot of editing lately, and I'm just looking forward to hearing really all the logistics that are going to happen. And I've been to the event space, so if you guys have any questions about that, there's plenty of room to spread out, so nobody needs to worry about that. But it's going to be a good time, whatever it is.
It will be SEMC, just looking a little bit different. Then representing our local arrangements in Chattanooga. First, how about you, Rob?
Hey, good morning, guys. I'm Rob Majors. I'm the Director of Operations here at the Hunter, and I am sitting in for our incredible Executive Director, Virginia Ann Sharber, who is out of town today. So thank you.
Thanks, Rob. And Adrian?
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Adrian Terry. I'm the Event Services Director with the Chattanooga Tourism Company. So excited and thrilled to welcome you all back to Chattanooga soon after 15 years. It's been a long time. So we're excited about it, excited to have you all here and let you experience our great community again.
Thanks, Adrian. And last but not least, we have Kyle and John from Hutchinson Design Group. And I will say that these two are very important to this annual meeting. This is our event management team, both on the ground and as part of the managing the virtual aspect. So Kyle, I'm looking at you.
Good morning, everyone. We just want to say how super excited that we're able to convene again. Maybe not so many numbers, but still we're together again on the ground in person, but we will have a virtual component to it. We are there to support you, and whatever you need, we have you guys. So we're super excited. Thank you very much. I'll pass it over to my colleague, John.
Hi, everybody. How are you doing? I'm actually just going to ditto everything that Kyle and actually all of our other representatives have said so far. We're just very excited, again, that we are able to not only bring you physical conference, but also a very, very rich virtual conference or component as well. So I think everybody's going to be very, very pleased and excited about everything that we're bringing.
Thank you all. This group of people who have just introduced themselves, we are all in constant communication, and it's been a pleasure to work together on planning this. I'm just going to do a little quick overview of various components of the conference and perhaps what to expect. I think everybody knows by now that the main sessions and losing my words. Our host site is the Chattanooga Convention Center. This is a really big amount of space for our annual meeting. It's probably larger than we've ever had in perhaps since last time we were in Chattanooga. And that's a good thing for this particular year. Those who were in Charleston, remember we had about 800 people. That's not going to be the case this year, and that's fine. We have set this conference up with social distancing in mind. I'll talk a little bit about our COVID protocols. But right now, for those of you who are coming in person, we're over 200. But that is a good number, I feel like, for this year to be together, but still be able to spread out, have good sessions, and still be able to attend all of the virtual components of it. So that's where we are with numbers right now. All of the session rooms at the Chattanooga Convention Center, if you're presenting there, will be set in theater style with chairs skipped, keeping social distancing in mind. As you all know, this has been an ever-changing environment with COVID, with Delta variants, with all sorts of masking requirements and non-requirements. So we made the decision, 2 months ago over the summer, that this conference, we are requiring all of our attendees to wear masks in the convention center, in the session rooms. And this is, again, just for the safety of everybody there in the expo hall. And again, this is a large convention center, but we have confirmed with the staff at the Chattanooga Convention Center that they will also be wearing masks for our events, including luncheons, and if they're switching out rooms and doing different types of setup like that. So that is one thing that you will see. I think everybody's used to it by now. Perhaps you've presented in a mask before or not, but it's the way that it is this year. And we feel like that's the right thing to do. So the registration desk, everything will be set in the convention center. We'll have big banners. You'll be able to see where we are. But I'm going to let Carla talk just a little bit about registration, about when it is, and what's going to be happening there.
So registration table will be set outside of meeting room 11 in the conference center, and people will be able to register on site. We will have everyone's tote bag with all the information that you need for the conference. There'll be a welcome letter in each person's tote bag. We'll have their scheduled events will be listed on there with the date and the time and everything. So we'll just be kind of home base. Registration table will be every day starting on Sunday and going through Wednesday. So Wednesday is the only day that we'll have it from 9 to 12. The other days we'll have it throughout the day. Let's see, on Sunday, registration is from 1 to 4:30. Monday and Tuesday will be there from 8 until 5. So you can basically come to registration if you have any questions. If you need any information, we'll have all the information that you need.
And I just want to reiterate about registration. This is where you're going to be able to get the most current information about things there and on Feedloop, which we'll talk about in a minute, which is the virtual platform, but that it's a platform for everybody. But as you can imagine, things have changed daily. I had to submit the final program for printing. We are doing a printed program this year. I've seen the draft. It looks really beautiful, but that was 3 weeks ago and things have changed again. So Small things like shifting, rooms around, and we've definitely had some presenters who have decided they couldn't come, and then we've added others. So the printed program is a wonderful resource, and everybody will get one. But the registration table is where you're going to get the most current information, and we're going to have a lot of stuff up there about any sort of room changes. Anything that's changed from the printed program, you'll be able to find at registration. So just make sure you come and say hi to Carla and pick up your packets. Other things that we will have at registration: masks. We're going to have masks everywhere. We still have some SEMC masks, and those really are kind of going to be first come, first serve at registration. But then I just ordered a whole bunch of the disposable black ones. So if you need a mask, we'll have one for you. The convention center has social distancing signs and hand sanitizer stations, and all the things that you would expect in public spaces are everywhere. The convention center has been doing events. They were quiet during many months, but I've been, we've been in constant contact with them now. But they have been working through bringing back live events to their spaces, and so their staff is accommodating and willing to do whatever makes our group comfortable. We have said in all of our communications going out that vaccinations are expected to attend the in-person annual meeting. We are not going to be checking vaccination cards. I'm sure I'll just put that out there right now, because that is probably one of the questions. But we have said very clearly, if you have chosen not to be vaccinated, please attend the virtual components of the sessions. So, happy to answer any questions about that right now, but, you don't have to bring your vaccination card with you. Okay.
I will also mention for volunteers, we do have a team of volunteers that will be supporting the conference this year. And so if you are a volunteer or need any information, registration is where we will be based. So any questions about volunteers, if you are a volunteer, I sent out a letter to each volunteer to let them know what their shift is, where to meet up. So just always check in at registration before you head out to your volunteer station.
Hopefully everybody has made their hotel reservations. The Marriott, the downtown Marriott, is our host hotel. This hotel is connected to the convention center. They are right there next to each other, and it's a short walk from the hotel. The hotel's actually just gone through some renovations. Thankfully, our group has missed all of those, because it's really no fun to be in a hotel when renovations are going on. And those of you who have been longtime SEMC members probably can remember a few instances where that's happened. But you laugh about it now, but it's no fun to hear drilling at 7 a.m. Anyway, one of the great things about the renovations is that there are more spaces to gather and eat. They've moved the bar down to the lobby, and there is a Starbucks in the hotel. I believe they may have changed the name, but there is a place to get coffee and snacks and light breakfast. So there will be food options in the hotel, but we have a ton of food options for you with SEMC this year in the convention center and the expo hall. Those of you that have been with us before and are always wondering what to expect with food, we have a smaller group of people, and the food will be spread out, but we definitely will be offering provisions to keep you going throughout the day. But again, the hotel has their own protocols in place for COVID. I just checked, all of their staff are still wearing masks at the registration desk and wherever you may see them. It's Marriott, so you can go online. I always stay in Marriott's, and I've been all over, and they really do a good job, I feel like, with sticking to those protocols. And this is a great hotel. So, right, I want to talk just a little bit just lay it out there. I think that the more specific questions can be directed to Kyle and John, but about the virtual part of SEMC, as I said, this is a hybrid conference. So we will have both in-person sessions as well as those that are online. Anybody who attended the virtual program series last fall, it's the same thing. There's been some confusion about how that it's going to work. All of the sessions are going to be on Zoom. If you are a presenter, you will be presenting in Zoom. It's just that the people who are watching are going to be watching the Zoom on a platform called FeedLoop. That's as simple as I can say it. But if you are a virtual attendee, you will have a login to access FeedLoop, and this is a really robust platform. Many other conferences around the country have used this, and Kyle and John have worked with it extensively. I know the Association of African American Museums used it for one, if not two, of their virtual conferences. So some of you may have seen it before. And on this platform, I mean, it's a website. It's our SEMC 2021 conference website on a platform called FeedLoop. And there you'll be able to see all of the sessions, all of the times, both in person and virtual. You'll be able to see all of the presenters. They've been filling in their information and their photos. So registration lists are great, and those attending will get that. But a lot of that information is going to be readily available to you on FeedLoop. So it is a great way to network, I've always wanted to meet that person. Well, there's their picture and their email. So there's a lot of things that you'll be able to do. The virtual platform, it's for everybody, whether you are an in-person attendee or you're, joining SEMC from your home or office. This is also a main hub. The registration desk at the convention center is this virtual platform. There's a networking feature, they call it a lobby. If you've done a virtual conference before, this is where people are posting and they're giving shout outs to their friends who they haven't seen in a while. So there's a lot going on that platform. But everybody, and we can talk about this, everyone who is registered for SEMC 2021 will get access to FeedLoop at some point next week. Hopefully I'm not misspeaking on that, but there you will have access to it prior to the conference beginning, so people can begin to get familiar with what it looks like. I'm just going to keep going because I know that there's questions. By the way, everybody knows I can't walk and chew gum, so I'm not looking at all the questions in the chat. I'm hoping that somebody else is, and then we can get to them when I'm done. So the way that we've set it up, we have time blocks of virtual sessions and time blocks of in-person sessions. These are not running up against each other. So if you are if you are in Chattanooga and you see a really cool virtual session that you want to go to, then you just log in from your laptop. You can hang out in the expo hall and do that, or you can be in your room. But when the virtual sessions are happening, they're not in-person sessions happening at the convention center. So in theory, you can be in both places. The virtual, we're actually Monday will kick off with virtual sessions in the morning. So when you're in Chattanooga already, if you're exploring the city or you just want to kind of ease into the conference, this is a good time to watch a virtual session. And then the in-person sessions begin in the afternoon. We are going to live stream. If you're a virtual attendee, there are 4 time blocks of sessions. So you have those to choose from. We've also chosen live sessions that were in-person sessions that we're going to live stream. So that just adds more opportunities for virtual attendees to add to their professional learning, to be able to see the live stream sessions. And we don't have a list of those out yet, but those will come out next week, so people can get a full picture of what is available virtually. We're also going to live stream the business meeting and keynote address, which is on Wednesday. So if you are attending virtually, that is yet another, another opportunity to listen to our keynote speaker, who this year is James McKissick, who is the director of an organization called Arts Build, which is a local Chattanooga organization that supports arts and culture. And he's super cool. I've loved listening to him, and he's very excited to speak to our group about community engagement and just his background in the arts. Okay, so that's the basics with the virtual and the in-person. And there's a lot of logistics going into making the virtual and the in-person work. We've had, well, I won't even call them challenges, but just different changes with in-person panels that had speakers that had to drop out for various reasons. So they're actually going to Zoom in the speaker. As you can imagine, the tech and coordination with all of these different components is complex this year. And that's why we have this robust team from Hutchinson Design Group with Kyle and John at the head, but then they will also have members of their team on site. So I'll just put that out there. We are aware of this is an ambitious thing we are trying to do with hybrid, but we do have the technology in place to help this run smoothly. We are going to have an expo hall at the Chattanooga Convention Center. Right now we have, I think, 30 exhibitors who will be there. The expo hall is gigantic. I mean, you if when it's empty, you could drive a truck in there. So my point on saying that is we've set the booth to kind of space people out and allow our attendees to still be able to walk around and feel comfortable talking to our industry partners. But there shouldn't be big bottlenecks in the expo hall at all this year. The expo hall is really going to be a nice place to be in between sessions. We have designed it this year with places to sit. I mean, we've never had that before. So having a little bit more space and maybe fewer people is an interesting change for us this year, and it allows us to do some stuff that we haven't been able to do. So in the expo hall, we've set some couch groupings. You'll be able to charge your phones. I know I was the queen of running around the expo hall looking for outlets anywhere I could find them, and so we were trying to think through, what people might need. We'll have extra tables to just come and hang out, and there's going to be food and snacks in there multiple times throughout the day. So I really am encouraging everybody, especially because we have a smaller group this year. All of these exhibitors have chosen to be with us to talk to our attendees about the services they can provide museums. And this is really a great year to get to know our industry partners, and we're all here together. I think in some years it's sort of been like, oh, there's the expo hall and there's the attendees. That's not it anymore. We have all chosen to attend this annual meeting together. So I'm excited to offer those opportunities. There's also a virtual expo hall on FeedLoop. Some of the same exhibitors who are in Chattanooga, you'll be able to see them. They also have a virtual booth. And then we have other exhibitors that just chose to do the virtual this year. So again, they have set up all sorts of information about what they offer. It depends on, what you may need. Maybe you're looking for exhibit design or shipping companies. All of those services are available. And the virtual booths, sometimes you can just go in and grab the information. The expo the booth representatives will let everybody know through, online communications when a representative might be in their booth. But it's a nice way to learn about what kind of services are available. So again, in person or virtual, I just encourage everybody. SEMC is very fortunate to have really dynamic corporate support, and we are thankful. Our big sponsor this year is a company called Conserve out of Birmingham, Alabama, and this is they took a leap on this. They are a new company, and they have done a lot to help us move this conference forward. So make sure to thank conserve when you see them. There's also a giveaway. Anybody who's registered for SEMC 2021, virtual or in person, is automatically entered in a giveaway from Conserve to win up to 3 years of environmental monitoring services. So stay tuned for that. There'll probably be other giveaways that come through, but Feed Loop is a good place to learn all about that. All right, the last thing I'm going to talk about, and then we can answer questions, is the luncheons, buses, and events. We are doing in-person luncheons. Thank you for all of you who have registered. You know, if you've been to SEMC luncheons before, sometimes the schedule was super tight and we were having to like flip over rooms with a session coming right on the heels of it. That's not going to happen this year. The luncheons are in large, dedicated spaces. It should be very, it's not kind of frenetic. It's a nice, the tables will be set in a way that people can spread out. Most of the luncheons have, you know, around 30 attendees. So if you've signed up for something, you don't really have to worry about being in a huge crowded space, but it's still going to be a nice opportunity to be with your colleagues, whether it's CureComm or EdComm. Some of the luncheons have speakers, and so that's what to expect there. All the luncheons will be plated and served. So the servers will have masks on. Obviously, if you're eating and drinking, you know, you take your mask off, but that's what luncheons are looking like this year. The awards lunch is the big one on Wednesday. And even that is, we have around 80 right now. And so we'll be able to space out the tables and the number of people at the table to adjust to comfort levels. So again, smaller numbers, but it allows us to do what needs to be done to keep everybody feeling comfortable and safe in this type of year. We do have great evening events for SEMC attendees. There are 2 receptions in the Expo Hall. There's an opening reception on Monday from 4 to 5:30, and then a closing reception on Tuesday, 4:30 to 5:30. Again, there will be 2 bars in the Expo Hall. Everybody will have drink tickets that come in your registration packets, and there will be food in the Expo Hall to just get some snacks before going on to the evening receptions. We do have buses. We've tried to get as large vehicles as possible to move people. One of the nice things about the location of the convention center and where the evening events are is it's really not a far distance. I mean, you could walk if you wanted to, if you choose to. We did it when we were there at mid-year, walking from the convention center to Hunter, but there's also a bus option. We are requiring masks on the buses, and we will move people in groups, you know, in sort of a shuttle type scenario. The evening event on Sunday is at the Bessie Smith Cultural Center. That's the opening event, and that is very close to the convention center. We do actually have a bus, but that one, if you like to walk, I mean, it's really close. However, options, this is year of options. So if you want to take a bus, that's there too. All of the evening receptions this year, it's really just going to be drinks and light bites. This is not a year that we are offering dinner. I'm just setting that expectation right now. So Chattanooga has lots and lots of great places to eat and go out. But the receptions are really more of just gathering and networking and some lighter fare. So the evening reception on Monday is at the Hunter Museum of American Art. I'm sure Rob can talk about that in a minute, but they have a beautiful outdoor space overlooking the Tennessee River. So we really have tried the receptions. Sunday and Monday are mainly outside. You will have the opportunity to go into the museums. And again, following their protocols that they have in place, You know, it's my understanding that everybody is still requiring masks in indoor locations for cultural institutions, but that by that point, it should be no surprise. And then the Tuesday evening receptions are at the Tennessee Aquarium and the Medal of Honor Heritage Center, which are right next door to each other. So there will be a bar at the Tennessee Aquarium and an opportunity to tour, to grab a drink and see the aquarium. And then right next door at the Medal of Honor Heritage Center, you can also, there will be a bar there and you can see the exhibits and some snacks. So buses will be, as we always do, bringing people back and forth from evening events to the convention center. So those parts of the conference are very similar to how they always have been, with the additional sort of COVID protocols in place. But we're really looking forward to having everybody together, to being able to network, to being in these sessions, and to really experience this hybrid experiment together. Okay, so I'm going to pause now. And what questions have come in? Does someone from our team want to?
We really haven't had any questions in yet. It's mostly been a lot of us cheering and getting excited about the setup and looking forward to like the soft seating and the charging stations like that. I think we're all getting excited about the Expo Hall experience.
Okay.
And one of the great things I can add about one of the amazing features about FeedLoop, you can literally live chat with attendees, and you can create group chats, live group chats. So we can, not physically, but we can literally reach out and touch folks. So that's another great feature.
Thank you. Adrian, do you want to talk to us a little bit about just Chattanooga in general?
So we did get a question come in, Zinnia, and that's about the watch parties.
Oh, sorry. And then Adrian, then I'll get back to you.
That's fine.
So the watch parties, we scaled them back. This was one area where we realized that what we wanted to do and the realities of the logistics didn't quite match up. So for each virtual block of sessions, we're offering 1 or 2 rooms where if in-person attendees want to go to watch a particular session, like I know, for instance, the first block of sessions, virtual sessions, there's one on critical race theory. That session has a watch room. And so again, we'll have that at the registration desk. So if you're on site and you decide that you want to go, and it's sort of, I mean, it's going to be kind of like watching it on TV, but there will be a shepherd in the room so that if on-site attendees have questions for the virtual panelists, the shepherd will be logged into the Zoom. And so they can ask a question on behalf of whoever is in the room. So not every virtual session is going to have a watch party, but I can tell, I mean, I know all of this by heart now, but 5 or 6 of them will. And that information will be at the registration desk. That's probably the most up-to-date place to put it. But like the technology showcase has a watch party. The State Museum Association Roundtable has a watch party. There's a session about middle management, managing from the middle, that has a watch party. So, we tried to choose sessions that we thought people might want to be together to have a conversation. I mean, everybody wants, it was hard, but we had to make some decisions there.
Yeah. And Zinnia, the virtual session presentations, will we be recording those and will they be available later?
Yes. Okay. That's a great question. And I feel as though I haven't conveyed this enough. All of the virtual sessions will be recorded. Anybody who is registered for SEMC 2021, whether you're virtual or in person, will have access to the recordings probably within, a week, 2 weeks, once we get all of that together. So if you are a virtual attendee, and you want to, oh, I want to go to the critical race theory session, but then I also want to go to the other one. Well, don't worry, because we're going to record everything. And even though you're only really watching one live, you're going to have access to all of them after the conference. So, and that includes everybody who's on site as well. So, I do hope that the people who are on site will log in and watch the virtual sessions, whether it's in a watch party room, or, if you just want to take a break in your hotel room, or if you want to go sit in the convention center with your laptop and some headphones in the expo hall with other people. There's going to be multiple opportunities to do this.
One of the things too, Zinnia, that I wanted to mention that I know we've talked about is as far as the expo hall and the drink refreshments, we're not going to have mixed drinks at the bars. We're just going to have wine and that sort of thing to help cut down on long lines and lengthy lines and that sort of thing. So that was one of the things that I was proud that we're doing that and thought that through, because sometimes that's the longest line.
Yes, and we did amend that a little bit. The drink tickets that people will get are for beer, wine, soft drinks, or water. But if you have to have a mixed drink, and that's just what you've been thinking about all day, that is available to you as a cash bar option. So that's just the way it goes this year. But and I know we have smaller crowds, but I just keep thinking in Charleston, the lines for the bars were so long in the expo hall, and it was difficult. It was difficult to do what needed to be done. So and most of it was because people were getting mixed drinks and there was one bartender. So we thought through that a little bit differently.
So Phelan has a question, and then I'll after that I'll pose Joshua's chat question.
Thank you. I was typing it up and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get this right. So Zinnia, I just want to make sure I'm understanding correctly. Some of the sessions are presented live with a real live audience. Some of them are presented where the audience will be there, but the personal presenting is on Zoom or whatever, virtual.
Yeah, there's full, like there are. So let's just say on Monday in the morning from 10 to 11:15, there are, I think, 5 virtual sessions being offered. So if you are in Chattanooga, you can log in to watch those sessions, but it's like you'd be logging in from your computer. We do have a session room for one of those sessions where you can go and watch it with other people. On Monday from 1 to 2:15, there's like 8 in-person sessions in the convention center. So those look the same as always. So the people in the convention center will be, attending sessions during that time block. Of those 8 sessions, we're going to live stream 1. So if you are a virtual attendee, you have yet another option if you want to watch a live session. Now, just to add a little layer of complications, some of the live sessions have presenters zooming in. Which we'll see how that goes, y'all. But I think it's going to be fine. But that's, again, just sort of the adjustment. So kind of however you want to watch a session, if you want to watch it from your computer or if you want to be in person, there's an opportunity to do so in all kinds of different ways.
And for the director and trustees luncheon, which I'm particularly interested in as a sponsor.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, of course. We love it. I think it's my 5th year, maybe. So this time coming from OTJ Architects. That's where I work now. There's a lot. Is there a presentation in that room live?
Yes.
Luncheon?
So yes, we are for the director's luncheon. There is going to be a panel or 1 or 2 people, but that is a live discussion for the directors and trustees and for our sponsors. Thank you very much, Fallon. As you know, whatever company you're with, I'm always glad to see you and appreciate your support. So, but OTJ this year has been very gracious with support, and the director and trustee luncheon is part of Monday is we've always called it the leadership forum day. And so this is a day where you'll see the most probably directors of various museums. Some of them choose just to come for that day, given various schedules, but there are sessions throughout the day, virtual and in person, that are specifically geared towards leadership topics. And then in the evening, there is a reception for museum directors at the Hunter Museum of American Art. So yes, there is a presentation at that luncheon. Still working on it. We're getting there.
Let me know if I can help.
Thank you.
And then Joshua's question, any space for more volunteers for people who may want to volunteer, or is that window closed?
Oh yeah, and
So-
part of it is I can try to help push with like the EMPs and see if we can get some people who are coming to the conference. And also I want to see if there's an opportunity that I can volunteer. I've been a little bit working with the programs committee. It's been a little bit crazy.
So we do have a few spots left for volunteering. I'm really thankful that we were able to fill, I would say 95% of our spots. But if you are interested in volunteering, or you know anyone that's interested in volunteering, I'll put my email in the chat box and just shoot me an email, because things come up and I'm anticipating that some people may have to pull out because of one reason or another. And it would be really nice to have a list of people that I can call just to say, hey, are you available? Can you jump in or whatever? So I'll put my email in the chat, and just shoot me an email and let me know, and we'll go from there.
Okay, thanks.
One thing I wanted to say, just for everybody who's on this call, we have 2 off-site sessions. One is an exhibit review session that's at the Bessie Smith Cultural Center. I believe that's on Monday afternoon. And the second one is a DEAI workshop, which is actually going to be run at the Hunter Museum of American Art, and that's Tuesday afternoon. The Bessie Smith is, again, that group can just walk over, and we do have a bus to take people to the Hunter. I feel as though these workshops got buried in the program. We were requiring or asking for pre-registration just so that we could keep track of numbers. But these, you know, I'm not super worried about too many numbers. They're these really cool opportunities that I would appreciate help promoting, because all we really need people to do is let us know that they're interested in coming to that session, so that we can gather the group to go over to the Bessie, or just make sure, you know, for the bus to the Hunter. But these are, again, additional opportunities, smaller groups this year, to really have some terrific conversations. One on exhibit review, the exhibit review session. I've never been able to go to any of to those, but I know that in previous years, the group chooses a local museum, and there's attendees who work with exhibition design and collections, and they spend some time just not critiquing, but really observing the exhibits that are in a particular museum, and then just talk through different strategies that this museum used. But again, these are all opportunities in these sessions to really have some engaging conversation. The DEAI workshop that they've put together over at the Hunter is, I think, really important. And I hope that people will continue to post the links on social media and various places. But this is an opportunity to talk with other museum professionals about how their museum is evolving with different policies and procedures, you know, and how people have been addressing all of the way that our field is changing with regard, for the better, let's hope, with regard to diversity, equity, accessibility, and inclusion. So I really would encourage everybody to look into, if it allows you your schedule. We tried not to run it up. The offsite workshops do conflict with some of the virtual sessions, but you know, every year you go to SEMC and you have to make a choice of what you're going to do. But so we'll continue to keep those open, but registration for all of those is still open. If you are going to attend a luncheon, we really need you to register for it by Monday, because we have to be solid on the food orders for that. The offsite events, those are more or less closed. We do still have some opportunities if you want to do the walking tour or the bicycle tour, which are Tuesday morning. Those registrations are still open. Again, small groups of people, opportunities to get to know some different people, not in huge crowds this year. See Chattanooga by bike. And we've never done that, or we haven't done that at SEMC in a while. So I think that one looks pretty cool. But all this information is still available on the website. Are there any other questions that I missed? Okay, Adrian, I'm just going to get back to you. So just talk to us about Chattanooga a little.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you were right in saying that we're bringing a lot of live events back. We have been booming since August, and the convention center currently has a Mecum auction show in about 650 cars. That's going on there right now. What I do love about our convention center, when it comes to the mandate, the mask, or wearing the mask and the requirements, it's all based on whatever the group prefers. So you mentioned, you're strongly recommending that everyone wears their mask. The convention center is gonna go by that. I didn't see that there was anything else going on in the convention center during the same time that you're there, but I did see that there's a home show towards the end of the week. So they're setting up during the time that you're there, but Janine, of course, can answer more about that and what they would require for if it's required for the entire building but as far as Chattanooga, our city, our state, our county currently does not have any mask mandates. Our attractions and our restaurants, hotels, museums, they're continuing to take extra precautions and safety measures to ensure that everyone feels safe when they come in. What you'll see with most of the attractions, you will see that their staff will have masks on, and some may have up signs that say, please have your mask on when you enter. Same with restaurants. Some may have that up and some may not. So I just always recommend that when you're out, just keep your mask with you, just in case you get to a restaurant or one of the local shops and they have the sign up to wear your mask. So but I can tell you that everyone is taking extra precaution and doing some extra cleaning just to make sure that everyone feels safe and that they know and they visibly see the safety precautions that they're taking. Once you get in Chattanooga, in downtown Chattanooga, you have the free shuttle to get around. You have our bikes. There's the bikes station set up all throughout the city. And by the convention center, there's a station there. There's another right outside of the Marriott. And those are only $8 to ride. So I know you mentioned the receptions are light hors d'oeuvres and beverages. So I would imagine that everyone may want to go out either before or after for a great meal. There should be no issue of getting around between our free shuttle, the bikes, and our downtown really is very walkable. The blocks are very short, but I always recommend hopping on the free shuttle and just taking it around just to get your bearings. Our shuttle drivers are amazing ambassadors, and we always inform them when groups are in town and what groups are in town. So, and where they're staying so that they can kind of keep an eye out for, extra tourists that may be in town. So the shuttle on Mondays through Fridays goes from 6:30 a.m. until 10 p.m. On Sundays, it does end a little bit early. Sundays are 9:30 a.m. until 8:30 p.m. So other than walking back or taking a bike back to the hotel, or, you know, like I mentioned, the blocks are very short, very walkable. That would be their the attendees' main way of getting around. There's so many restaurants just within blocks of you. And being at the Marriott, we do have one 24-hour restaurant that's in downtown that is a huge hot spot for a lot of people because their food is amazing. The prices are very reasonable, and it's called City Cafe. They have breakfast, lunch, and dinner 24 hours a day. So for those late night eaters like me, sometimes I just want a sweet snack later in the evening. They have, you know, 7-layer cakes and cheesecakes, and it's amazing. So just in your area, you know, between the hotel, between the road that you're on, Carter Street, and just accessible through the free shuttle, you'll have a lot of restaurant options. You know, your closest being on 11th Street by the Marriott and on 13th Street, which is on the other side of the convention center. But they will have plenty to choose from. The shuttle will also take attendees across the river, you know, to the North Shore area where there's a lot of local eclectic shops, as well as other restaurants that they could choose to enjoy, or even walking across the Walnut Street Bridge, which is our pedestrian only bridge. So a lot to do just in the downtown area. You will definitely feel safe. You'll feel, you know, that your health is not at risk. And we definitely want to allow everyone to have a great experience. We'll have a booth there in the exhibit hall, and I will have it staffed during peak hours on each day with some of our Chattanooga ambassadors, just to help with any local questions or directions. We'll have a map there, of course, and a QR code for restaurants, because our restaurants have changed. We have some that have gone away and new ones that have added on. So the QR code is going to be the most up-to-date version. I will have moon pies, which are made here in Chattanooga. We'll have enough for your bags if you'd like to include those, as well as our Chattanooga magazine that gives a great perspective of from our locals of what they like to do when they're in the city. We're hoping that, you know, some of the attendees will choose to extend their stay or come in early or just have some time later in the day. I love your schedule that you don't start so early that, you know, if people wanted to go to the Tennessee Riverwalk, you know, for, you know, nice little exercise, or just to step out for breakfast at a local coffee shop, you know, they have the opportunity to do that. But we definitely want to make sure any information that we can provide, if there's anything that you would like our social media team to push to your social handles, just as a, you know, welcome, we're looking forward to you coming in, or here's what's going on while you're here. We can definitely do that with whatever messaging you would like.
Thank you. That's great information, Adrian. I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. And we can also have an interactive map at our cart if you like, just to note, just for your agenda where things are. It would be a QR code that they can click on, and they can see, you know, Bessie's here, and sort of like a Google map, but it's just personalized with your
yeah, that would be helpful. Let's talk through that, because I think that one other thing I wanted to mention is that our Equity Inclusion Action Team, which has their own website, which is really robust, they have been working on a whole list of places to visit in Chattanooga that are LGBTQ friendly and sort of local favorites, and just different areas and what they're known for. So we're going to link that to the Feed Loop site. So there will be some additional information for people. So yeah,
we
I think
do have.
Go ahead.
Oh, you got Heather. Okay.
I know. Yeah, I know we're running up into time. So,
but we do have another question in the chat, and from Ryan, who is a student at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. We love our student members. Yay! This is going to be his first museum conference.
Awesome, Ryan.
What should I expect from the community of attendees who attend this conference? Are there any opportunities that are tailored or suggested for students to attend?
I mean,
Expect a lot of love.
Well,
and
okay,
support and networking.
Yeah, when you get the printed program, I did the best I could this year, but I've sort of identified sessions that are for specifically might be interesting for emerging museum professionals. And so those sessions are probably going to have a lot of other emerging museum professionals, and it's a great place to start. On Monday at 4, which is when the virtual, or is when it's when all the sessions end and the expo hall opening begins. But at 4, we're having a first timers kind of meet and greet. I'll be in that room, and some of our council and people who don't even know yet that I'm asking them to do this, but it'll be a good place just to come and meet people. SEMC, I mean, I don't know if anybody on this call would fight me on this, is literally one of the friendliest conferences around. It's certainly an experience you can go to knowing nobody, and it's okay, because within 5 minutes you will know somebody. That's just the way it is. We do, Carly, do we have student ribbons? I can't remember. Did we do that?
I can't remember either. I'll have to check and see. I think we do have first timers though.
Okay, yeah, so when you pick up your registration packets, we have ribbons that you can, sort of identify who you are, if you're on council, or if you're your first time at SCMC, or we have emerging museum professional ribbons this year, those were new. And then I've also ordered, just so everybody knows, pronoun stickers. So your pronouns aren't necessarily on your name badge, but you can get a sticker and put it on your name badge. So there's gonna be a lot of ways to identify who you are. And I feel like this smaller conference is a great one to be a first time attendee, because again, we're all going through this one together. So I'm really excited to welcome people who have never done this before. So your feedback will be even more interesting than those who have done SCMC for many years, to see how the differences are. I hope that answered some of it.
Yeah, I just want to follow up. Definitely attend the EMP events. Those are really fun, really interesting, and really useful for students. I remember going to some of those events when I was still a grad student, and we got some really cool stuff coming up.
Well, and one of the things that we've done this year too, for the affinity groups, there's an emerging museum professionals group, and then there's also a mid-career museum professionals. Their meetups the past couple of years have been off-site or in like a bar in the hotel. This year, everything's going to be in the expo hall. So it'll just be another opportunity to maybe meet as a group prior to the expo hall and walk over together. I could spend another 20 minutes talking about the expo hall, because some people don't really know what to do in there. But the point is, there's all of these different museum service providers that want to meet our attendees and just talk about what they can do for the museums. And even if you're not the decision maker, it is always good to get to know the companies that provide these services, because you have that information in your pocket. So someday I'll do a whole session on how to be successful in the museum expo hall.
I would also say, don't be intimidated to walk up to anybody, even if you know they're a director, or if you see them as a panelist and you think, oh, they know so much, why would they want to talk to me? We're not that type of group. We're very welcoming and friendly. So definitely walk up to anybody that you think can answer a question, or that you want to become friends with or have in your network. And the other thing too, I would say, is if you're in a session, particularly the live sessions, and it's not what you thought it was, and you're not getting what you want out of it, don't hesitate to get up and go to another session. Because again, the presenters aren't going to be offended or anything like that. We all know that we're trying to be there to learn, and a lot of us have different hats in our museum. So a lot of times we're a little conflicted about which session to go to. So if you're there and you're here in a couple of minutes and you're like, oh, this is not what I thought it was going to be, it's not going to help me, nobody's going to think that you're rude if you get up and hop to another session.
Yeah. One last thing that I did, again, I can't see the chat, but I saw Kyle said, remind them about the bracelets. So again, it's a COVID year, and we kind of borrowed this idea from the American Association of State and Local History, who held their annual meeting in Little Rock, Arkansas last month. They had, around the same number of attendees that we're going to have. And so we got a lot of insight from them on what it's like to run an in-person conference these days. But one of the things that they did is they had different colored lanyards to sort of indicate your comfort level with people coming up to you. So they had red, yellow, and green. And so if you had a red lanyard on, it was sort of like, nice to see you, but you can stay where you are over there. Yellow, maybe you're doing like fist bumps or elbow bumps or something. And green, you're like all in, you can hug. But I didn't do lanyards because we have great lanyards that are sponsored from Exhibit Concepts, but we have bracelets. So they're those little, the rubber bracelets that you've seen, but it's a souvenir, if nothing else, from SEMC 2021. And they have the dates of our conference. And so you'll be able to pick those up at the registration desk, red, yellow, or green. And just there's a little explanation of what the purpose behind them. Again, it's just another thing. People who are coming in person, even though they they want to feel comfortable, we all know that being back out in a group is still a little weird. I mean, even as much as we're sort of doing in our lives. And so I think we all have to get used to it again. And this is just another way to, meet people where they are. That's what this year is all about. And be together in whatever way meets the moment. We started using that a year ago, and it still applies. So
let me just add,
yeah.
Well, I was just going to add real fast. Thanks to Xenia for her and Carla for their hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of hard work getting ready for this thing, and to Michelle and Beth for all their work.
Yeah.
As conference chairs do this. Thank y'all for everything y'all have done. This is going to be an amazing experience, and I think we've charted some really uncharted waters in a really excellent way. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah,
Well,
I would
you.
also like to add to that, Kyle and John, who have been really helpful too, as far as all the logistic work and everything, and helping us understand how to do a virtual and a live in this hybrid world, everything at the same time. So I know we've relied a lot on the two of you for your expertise, and
Oh yeah. On everything. I mean,
you were
choosing
jewels
menus
to work with.
Their event management. It's nice to pull you guys from behind the scenes on something, because it really this is a big undertaking, and I very much appreciate it. We also appreciate the local support from Chattanooga Tourism and from the museums. I mean, Rob, thank you for the Hunter. I mean, you guys have been the center of the planning on the local teams, and I know it's a hard year to do it, and so we're very appreciative.
Well, it's been our pleasure. We're so looking forward to this.
Yeah, I know, like I sort of needed this too, just like a touch base with real people. It's all been like details and contracts and shifting and editing and stuff, so it's just nice to talk with people and get excited about why we do this. And it's to bring us together in whatever way works this year for professional development and networking, community, camaraderie, connection. That's what we are. So, all right, everybody, if you have additional questions, please email me, email Michelle. Michelle's been on the front lines with program committee. It's a year of new. Anything else on that, Michelle, before we wrap up?
I'll put my email address in the bar over there. I just put something in the chat, but in case you missed it, if you are able to promote any of our sessions, the conference, the offsite tours or workshops, let me know, and I will send you the content that you need, and all the links. And so again, they're wonderful programs, and we're just trying to really bump up the attendance for them. And so that would be really helpful. And plus, I'm going to put my email address in the bar just in case you have any other questions. And that's really it. But I'm willing to help and jump on Zoom meetings and give more information if anybody needs it. So just keep that in mind. Just ask. So.
Thank you. Yeah, I just, this one really takes a village, and we're looking forward to it. And, you know, Carla's done a great job with managing registration in a year of changes and shifts, and pulling together volunteers. All of the volunteers at the convention center will have t-shirts, assuming that we get the t-shirts on time. Y'all, the mail is just working against us this year. But they will have, you know, specific t-shirts, so you'll be able to recognize them as a volunteer. And then we will also have some of those t-shirts, if you love the t-shirts, for sale as well. So it's, you know, Carla and I like them a lot, so maybe you will too.
They'll love them.
Yeah, I think so. Again, souvenirs. All right, everybody. Oh, yeah.
Real quick, I think it's still-
Ryan had a question.
Yeah, the Sunday night events, if it's the evening events, you don't need to pre-register for them.
Correct.
So
Right.
just
The evening,
check, the evening events are open. Mhm.
the evening events, we just, in the registration, we just asked you to, you know, perhaps indicate if you are coming, so we can give numbers to the host sites, but that's no pre-registration. Good question.
Definitely, if you're new to the conference, definitely go to the evening events. They're such a great way to meet people outside of just in an informal setting. It's really great for an EMP like yourself to sort of make some connections.
Yeah.
Well, and Ryan, honestly, even coming to this Zoom, now we all know who you are. So
That's right.
we're all gonna find you at the conference. So that was smart. All right, everybody, happy Friday. We have a happy hour today at 5. I just kept that on the schedule if anybody feels like dropping in. We've been doing that now for a year and a half, consistently, monthly. And they're always interesting. But otherwise, again, we're all available for questions, and we'll look forward to seeing everybody in a few weeks. So, or
Cindy,
not even, yeah.
I had one quick question before you go. You were saying that for the luncheons, you need the reservations by today or by the
Monday.
By Monday.
By Monday,
that's,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm having my people. A bunch of us are coming in, and I just want to make sure. All right, great.
Okay, thank you. That's just helpful. You know, we need to get those finals, but I appreciate
Okay.
that. Okay. All right. Bye, everybody. Happy
Okay, bye,
Friday.
thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.